My name is Wyatt Levine. I'm going to talk to you today about just the differences between a fresh system and a takeover. So I've been doing this for 12 years now. I started out feeling a lot more comfortable with a fresh system. As I've kind of progressed in my career, it's transformed into being a lot more confident in a takeover, but there's definitely an advantage to selling both. Chances are, if you guys are kind of starting out, you feel more comfortable with one or the other. That depends on kind of who your manager is, what market you've been kind of training in, what markets you're selling in the summer. But the top producers will all tell you that if you want to put up high numbers, high volume, you got to be able to sell both. So what my goal today is to help you see a little bit of a different perspective on either a fresh door or a takeover, depending on which one you're less confident in. We all know that confidence is so key in sales. And so if you can't approach a door confidently, you're gonna have a hard time selling it. So I wanna offer a different perspective so how you can think confidently about why a fresh system is an advantage or why a takeover is an advantage. So first I wanna talk about the advantages of selling a fresh system. With a fresh system, you don't need to know everything about your competitors. This is especially advantageous to you if you're just learning how to sell. We already have enough that we're trying to figure out. We don't wanna try and figure out other competitors and what they offer and what they don't on top of it all. All you really need to know is how to sell one system, that's us. This allows you to be an expert, and people wanna buy from an expert. The second big advantage is customers don't have a preconceived price point. If they already have a security system, they already kind of have in their minds what these things should cost. If you get someone that's fresh, you get to build that value, you get to create that price point in their minds through your presentation. Not only does this allow you to sell bigger packages, but you also don't have to deal with contract buyouts. This is making these accounts the most profitable that you can have them be. You don't have to dip into your commission. You don't have to even worry about that extra step of trying to figure out how to get them out of their contract. That is already eliminated. Now I wanna talk to you guys that get a little bit nervous when you're walking up the driveway and you see that they already have a security system, because there's a ton of advantages and pros to selling these customers too. The first and probably most obvious advantage is that they already see value in security. You don't need to try and build that. That box is already checked right now. The second advantage to a takeover is you already know the objections that they're gonna have. With a fresh system, it's a little bit more of a mystery. You don't know what they're gonna come up with and what things that are gonna hold them back. If they already have a security system, they're already paying for it, we already know exactly the reasons that they might be hesitant to work with you, so we can stay ahead of it. I know if they already have a security system, that number one, they're the most worried that they're already in a contract. The second thing that they're worried about is fear of change. People don't like to change. The third thing that I know that they're gonna have an objection with me is if their price is going to increase. And then the fourth one, you're gonna hear it a lot, but I'm fine with what I currently have. They're going to have that objection almost every time that they think that they don't need your services because they already have it. Knowing these objections beforehand is key, and it makes my job easier because the best way to overcome an objection is by bringing it up before they do. So I can literally build this into my door approach and throughout my presentation. So my door approach with a takeover, it's very direct. It's, hey, I'm here to earn your business. We're taking a lot of the neighbors from your current company. And the reason I'm able to do this so easily is this 3-part proposal. People don't really want to cut me off because of how confident I am. They want to hear this 3-part proposal out. It's very simple. Number one is I want to take care of your contract for you. We're going to help you get rid of that. Number two, I don't want to change your whole system. You know that saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. All I'm going to do is trade you keypads, which is going to fix some issues you didn't know you had and add some features you didn't know were possible. And then the third thing is I get to go and add a lot of things that you've probably already considered doing, you just didn't want to pay out of pocket for. We're able to do all of this at no upfront cost. That just eliminated almost all of their objections. They're not worried about the price increase because I told them there is no upfront cost. They're not worried about their contract because I told them I'm gonna help take care of it. They're not really worried about change because I told them myself, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And you're able to go and build value because you're able to get past the initial barrier of all their initial objections. Being able to be this direct and not having to spend as much time on trying to build all of the value in the idea of protection and security allows this to go a lot quicker too. Most of my takeover sales take a lot less time than my fresh door sales. So my strategy for selling is actually not that different if it's a takeover or a new system. All I'm trying to do is identify pain points and show them the problems that our system can help fix. That's what people buy, is solutions to problems, right? And so if they don't have a system, all I'm comparing it to is their current lifestyle and the different scenarios that are inconvenient that our system can now bring an added level of convenience. So you're either comparing their current system and the problems or their current lifestyle and the problems. Both are a comparison. Just remember though, telling isn't selling. What we're trying to do is paint a picture and essentially install the system in their homes, in their minds. You're gonna have to spend a little bit more time on this if they don't have a system currently. I want you to imagine that when you go in the customer's home, you're actually physically bringing the equipment with you and the tools to install it. As you're going around, you're installing each device and painting a picture and showing them scenarios where they would use this. By the time you're done with this, they don't want you to leave with it. They want it to stay there. They've already imagined using it in their minds and they want to keep it and they're willing to pay for it to stay. That's all we're trying to do. The pattern that you want to follow is problem, solution, scenario. Problem, solution, scenario. So just a quick story to illustrate this. So I still remember this plain as day. This customer, his name was Frank. I asked him this question and he told me that he was so frustrated that his refrigerator stuck out 3 inches past his cabinets. The reason that it stuck out is that the box plugged in behind his fridge to power his old alarm panel was this big and it bothered him for years. And so when I told him that we could relocate his panel, push his refrigerator back even with his cabinets, he was ecstatic. If I wouldn't have asked that question, figured out that objection, and tried to go in and pitch him on how the cameras are 4K and record 24/7 and all these extra things, I might have lost him. So the point again is we just need to figure out 1 or 2 hot buttons and we can keep this a lot more concise with the takeover. So in summary, there's huge advantages to both takeovers and fresh systems. We need to be confident in selling both. Vivint really does have a platform that can appeal to almost anybody. So my challenge to you today is simple. I just want you to focus on whichever type of customer you feel less confident with. If you feel more confident with a takeover, I want you to consciously approach 5 people today that don't have a system. And if you feel more confident with a fresh door, find 5 people with a security system and go approach them today. And you'll be surprised if you have a little bit more confidence, a little bit more strategy as to why this is a good look customer, how much better you're able to approach them. So if you take this challenge serious, you really might be able to double your sales because you're doubling your potential customers. So let's go make some money today.